lose you.
Is going to college worth it? Yes. It depends, you know. For my situation, it was absolutely worth it. I went to Southwestern College. It was worth it, absolutely. While in school, I was able to land in a position in accounting with the government. You know, it's like an entry-level position, but I was able to get experience while I was still in school and everything like that. It was a real job, you know. It's like a GS7 position. And right after graduation, that I did less than a year before I had graduated in that position. But right before I graduated, I sent my stuff out to a recruiter, and the recruiter sent me a position back, paying about $100,000 to $106,000, and I would have had to move though. I live in Atlanta. I would have had to move to California, and it was a lot of money, especially for somebody who would have been like really still in their first year of accounting. But I had military background experience. I had some work experience, and I also had an associate's degree that I earned through the Community College of the Air Force in healthcare management. And so this position in accounting was an accountant at a hospital, and they wanted an accountant who was familiar with the healthcare system. So I was kind of like a shoe-in. But yeah, so is going to college worth it? I would say yes. With the money. Oh, by the way, here recently I got a new position recently offered to me with Homeland Security. It'll take me up to GS13. It's about a $50,000 raise, or about $49,000 raise on top of where I'm at right now, over 4 years or whatever. Because it's a 7, 9, 11, 12, 13. So each year I move up to the next pay grade. And so when looking at what I would have been making had I just had no degree and was forced to just take a job locally at a Walmart, or even staying in the current position that I'm in, staying in this position, or even, you know what, I don't even think I would have been able to get into this position had it not be for me being an accounting student. You know what I mean? There are people who are much older than I am who have been working for the government for years, and they GS5s and GS6s, and it's nothing wrong with that. It's just having an accounting degree opens up all of these doors for me to go all the way to GS15, SCS, and above, when maybe those opportunities wouldn't be there had I not had an education. And we talking about the difference between making for a 13 in Atlanta goes from 90,000 to 117,000 in Atlanta, and there's always a cost of living adjustment. As a matter of fact, by the time I'm even able to get to the 13 and step all the way to step 10, it'll, by my calculation, it'll probably be around 136 a year, 136,000 a year. Now, luckily, I always had money coming in from other areas, so that's kind of that. But if I didn't have my degree, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Southwestern College, you know what I'm saying? If I didn't have my degree, then I might have been stuck making $40,000 a year for the next, you know, $50,000 a year for the next, you know, 10 years or whatever, you know, whatever the normal job is for somebody without a degree. I don't know what it is really. But so if you was making $50,000 a year and you doing that for the next 30 years, you know, I'm not saying that's not bad money, but it's a long way from, you know, making $136,000 for, you know, for that amount of years or whatever, or having raises that you would get from moving up in pay grades versus moving up because you're moving to your next step, or you know, your next raise in that same pay grade. So if I had got stuck in a pay grade, GS6, I'm really not sure how much they make, but say if they make $39,000 a year or whatever, and then their steps go up to maybe like 50 or something like that. So if I get stuck making $50,000 a year for 30 years, then that's a long way from being able to make $136,000 a year. Even the raises are different. When people go to that next step, they may be getting like, they may be going, you know, they may get like $2,000, $3,000 difference for the next year. When you move up grades, you can get from a 7 to a 9 is a $10,000 difference. So the next year you're a 9, and the way the ladder promotions go, they go like 7, 9, 11, 12, 13, right? So, or 7, 9, 11. So between a 7 and a 9 is 10,000. So you do that every year. You go from a 7 to a 9 in 1 year. You go from a 9 to an 11 in 1 year. So you go 10,000 from the 7 to the 9. Then you go another 10,000 from the 9 to 11, right? So you're talking about a $20,000 raise over 2 years. You know, you're talking about $30,000, $40,000 raise over 3 or 4 years. Like, you know, we talking, you know, that's a considerable amount of difference. So I would say going to college for me is definitely worth it. You know, I didn't have to invent the wheel. I didn't really have to build a company, which I do have a company I recently incorporated, and I even have my, let me show you this. I even have my, make sure, I even have my business credit card. And if you see at the bottom right there, it says the Moore Royal Family right there. So yeah, I have my business credit card, so you can still have a company and everything like that, but I do have a guaranteed source of income until I figure out everything with my business and get everything up and running. And I have a great career. The position I just accepted is in audit with Homeland Security. It's great. Can't wait, you know, can't wait. But yeah, so going to college for me is definitely worth it. I mean, it probably added at least like, probably has about probably about an $80,000 valuation over, you know, per year. Once my career reaches maturity, probably add about 80,000 to my income per year. You know, and we look at over 10 years, that's 800,000. You're talking about 20 years, you're talking at least 1.6 million. And for whatever reason, it seems that the higher you move up, and that's, you know, I'm not going to say it's just in government, but or just in the civil service, but also probably in definitely even in the military. It seems like the higher you move up, the less, I ain't gonna say the less BS you deal with, but like the higher you move up, like the less, or the better the position is for comfort. Usually the more comfortable the position is. When I first started as an airman, you know, I was doing the most, you know, in the Air Force, I was doing, as an E1, I was doing like cleaning floors, you know what I mean? Taking the trash out, you know, washing jets and cars and stuff like that, like, you know, manual labor. And as you move up as a made like senior airman, then I might have been running the crew, you know what I'm saying, of people who might have had to do stuff like that, but I wasn't doing it no more. I was actually doing real avionics work, you know, on planes, like I was supposed to be doing when I first joined. Well, like what my job was or whatever. And so then as I moved up to staff and E6 or whatever like that, when I made E6, you know, well, when I made staff, you know, I actually got in trouble. Me and this other guy, we actually got in trouble for taking the trash out because they said we weren't delegating. There was other lower ranking airmen in the office who should have been doing that. And so we got pulled into the office and, what are you doing? You know, you got airmen in there. You guys are the ones taking the trash out. I was so used to doing it, I never thought about like it being a big deal. We were trying to leave for the day, so take the trash out, right? The faster the trash get taken out, the faster we can go home. But that ain't how that stuff worked. You know what I mean? So you know, we began delegating, and the jobs became less dirty and more, you know, more of like what you would want to do, more of control, more of decision making. And so, and I think that also having a degree has a value in that, you know, as well. That's also all depending on whether or not you plan on working for an organization, or if you plan on owning your own business. Plan on owning your own business, I still think that you should have a certain level of education. It may not necessarily be a degree. Maybe you just need to learn a certain background of something. But I definitely think that the degree has added probably at least $80,000 towards my civilian career per year, at the point that my career reaches maturity. And because it's already paid itself, it's already been worth it for me being able to even be in a position that I got when I first came in. Because I could have came in as a GS5 and came in as a 7 just because I was an accounting student. So I definitely think it's already added value, but the level of value that it has now with this new job this new position that I have with Homeland Security is, you know, like it is like college has been successful for me. You know what I mean? Like I can't really speak for everybody else. It has been successful for me. You know, even with student loans, you have to be very careful to choose a degree and that would actually make sense financially. You know what I'm saying? Like, because getting a degree in history may not have positions just readily available for you to come in and make $60,000-$70,000 a year. You may never get that with a degree in history. And you have people who have a degree in healthcare administration as an associate's degree and can make $70,000-$80,000 a year. And they got a 2-year degree, and it's just that there's more opportunities for their occupation. You know what I'm saying? Or for what their concentration is in. So you just want to make sure that you choose a degree that you can actually make money in. You know, there are people who might be going to school just because, you know, they want to, you know, they want to, I don't know, they want to learn about something. Like there's so many people I know who went to school and got criminal justice degrees who do not work in criminal justice. To a lot of people with psychology degrees, but they never planned or they never really thought about like the further, you know, the long road that psychology has. You know, you can't just get a bachelor's degree in psychology usually and get a job in psychology. You need a master's degree, you need a license, you need all of those things. And so just choosing the right kind of degree and that works for you, and or that has career potential for what you actually want to do. You know, I even know people who went to school to be barbers. They got their barber license, but they don't like cutting hair. They just went because the GI Bill was paying for it, or it was just, they just went to school to do something, you know, just to be doing it. And now they have student loans, or they have a certificate or a license, or pass some kind of program or whatever like that. They don't even want to do the job. They working at a furniture store, and it's like, what's the point? You know, if you're gonna be carrying furniture, why did you even go to school? You know, like why did you take out student loans and you're not gonna work in your field? What's the point? You know, I mean, it might be even more money in doing the job with the furniture. You know what I'm saying? Some people might be making $30-$40 an hour doing furniture. I don't know. I'm just throwing numbers out there. They might be making a decent living moving furniture, but they went to school for this one thing the whole time they was working for the furniture company. And now that they graduated or they finished their program or whatever like that, they got student loans that they didn't have before, and they don't even plan on working in the field. Makes no sense to me. So I say, do your research, find your position. Find you a career that has potential, and when you go to school, make sure you go to school for something that you can use, not basket weaving, unless you know how to make money weaving baskets or whatever like that. Just don't go to school for art appreciation or something like that unless you actually plan on working in that field. Don't just be trying to get any degree. You know what I'm saying? It matters. Trust me, it matters. And you know, like I said before in one of my previous videos, accounting and nursing to me are the best for valuation for money versus effort. You know what I mean? A lot of degrees require you, or a lot of concentrations require you go much further than just a bachelor's degree or just an associate's degree. They may require you go master's, doctorate, you know, PA, you know what I'm saying? It just depends. And anyway, that's pretty much that, man. Yep. Close your eyes.